Okay. Hi Rajesh.
Stefan, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. Rajesh.
Stefan, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. You can see my screen, right, Rajesh? Srinivas?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yesterday we have seen how to design a form using the data source, and we have seen how to place the controls on the form. We have seen how to place the checkbox, we have seen how to place the drop down and the radio buttons, right? Srinivas, any doubts from the previous class?
No, Banu, I'm good.
Okay, Rajesh?
I'm good, Banu.
Okay, fine. Who is this other Rajesh here in the list?
Yeah, hi.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
Who is this other Rajesh?
I'm coming from the last two classes also.
Rajesh or Rakesh?
Rajesh.
Rajesh. Okay. Okay. Um, in the tables, we have a concept fields are done. We have other concept is field groups. Field groups are nothing but you can see here. Suppose See here, these are the group of fields. See, identification, it's a group and it is having group of fields, worker type, pay type, payroll, these are all the one group. Date, these are all the one group, and time, these are all the one group. So suppose if you want to make a group of fields and use it in the other forms also, then what you'll do is you'll make a field groups so that that group can be used in the other forms also, which is using the same table. The other form which is using the same table, we can make use of the field groups so that the bunch of fields can be directly dragged into the form without dragging each and every field. Okay, so suppose here the field groups can be created in the general tab only. The field groups can be created in the general tab only. Just a minute. Okay, so here suppose if I cannot place the group fields in the overview tab. I can place the group fields in the general tab. Okay, so how can I place it is, go to the field groups, right click, say new group. Okay, and the group name I'm giving as D fields. Okay, in the fields, in the D fields, what I will do is I will drag this stock ID and stock name into the D fields so that wherever the form which is using the same table want the stock ID and stock name on the form, no need of dragging the fields stock ID and stock name into the form. If you just drag the field groups, that is enough. Okay, so here if you see in the data source, in the data source fields we have the fields, only normal fields are there, we don't have the field groups. What is our field group name? It is D fields. D fields is not available here. D field is not available here. But if you want to drag the items into the general tab, you have to drag it from the data source only. But the D fields, group fields is not available in the data source. So what I will do is I will synchronize the form. That is, I will refresh the form. Right click and say restore. So that I'll get the D fields here. Srinivas, can you mute your mic please? Oh, thank you. So here once I refresh, I'll get the D fields here in the data source. Okay, so what I can do is in my design, in the general tab, I can directly drag the D fields group fields. And directly drag it. So see, I can see the D fields here. If you want to give the Label for the group, you can give the label for the group also. Label, you can give it as stock details. See, this is stock details. So if you have another form which is using the same table, if you drag the field groups, that will have the stock ID and stock name. Okay, that is the use of the field groups, which are reusable fields in different forms. Okay, now I'll create one more table here. I click new table. This stock line, fields, right click, new string. I am taking this stock line ID, company, address. We have three fields. The stock line ID, company and address. Okay, now I'll create a form for this D stock line ID. Right click, new form. D stock line. And here the data source is the D stock line. So I'm dragging this into the data source. Going to the design, I'm creating a new grid, only grid control, that's it. In the grid control, I will drag the fields D stock line ID, company, address. Okay, now in the D stock line ID, I want to enter the details. I want to enter the stock ID, company name and address. I want the stock ID to be retrieved from the D stock form. I want the ID to be retrieved from the D stock form. Okay, so here actually we cannot see the form 1001 and open the form, type 1001, type company address. That will be a difficult task if we have more numbers. Okay, so if you want to get those IDs here, we can place a lookup of the D stock IDs in the D stock line IDs. That means we can create a lookup of this. You can create a lookup of this D stock ID in the D stock line ID. That means it will create a drop down in the D stock line ID of this D stock IDs. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to create a relation between the two forms. You need to create a relation between the two forms. Two forms are retrieved from the two tables, these two tables, right? So you want the lookup in the child form, that is in the stock line form. So what you will do is in the child form, go to the relation, right click, new relation. In the relation name you give it as some name, any name you can give, REL DSTK. Okay, and the table name. Right now we are in the dstock line table. To which table you want to create a relation? You want to create a relation to the dstock table. Save it. Okay. Now we have created a new relation. You have created a new relation to the dstock table. Now the type of relation has to be mentioned here. We have created only relation but did not mention the type of relation. So here right click, new, normal. Normal relation I am creating. Okay, we got the relation icon here. We got the relation icon here. Okay, I have created a normal relation. Now in the field, in the relation type field, click here. If you click here, you will get the field of dstock line table, that is dstock line ID. Press enter key. If you click on related field means it is dstock table field, that is a dstock ID. This is a child table field and this is a master table field. Once you select these two, you will get like this: dstock line ID dot dstock line ID equal to dstock dot dstock ID, means child table dot stock line ID equal to parent table dot stock ID. Okay, we have created a relation. Now go to the forms, open the form, you will get a drop down of the stock IDs. Click on this company name, Control N. Control N. Okay, this is how we create a relation between the two forms. Now here, when we open a form, you are able to see the dstock ID, dstock name, quantity, order date, amount. From where we are getting these labels? All the labels. In the general tab, we got the labels which are already designed. The labels and text boxes are already designed. From where we are getting all these labels?
From data source.
It is retrieving the field name directly. It is retrieving the field name directly. Directly the field names are being shown as a labels here. So suppose you want to change the label names, you can change it over here. Label, you can give stock ID. I got the stock ID as a label. Instead of D stock ID, I got the stock ID. So you can change the label over here. Suppose the label is mentioned only for that particular form, and if it is not used anywhere, then you can give the label directly over here. And suppose if the label is, if you want to make a label as a reusable label and you want to use in more than one form, okay, if you want to use the label in more than one form, then you have to create a reusable label using the label file IDs. Okay, you'll see that how to create. Just a minute, let me remove the previous label versions. Now, if I want to create a label through label file ID, what I'll do is I'll go to the tools, label file wizard. Click on the next, and label file wizard, you have to give any of the three characters. Okay, so that, see here, a label file is named label file ID language.ald, ax label file ID language.ald. For instance, ax sys is a system defined label. En, it's a language, English language, English US, en hyphen us, English language us dot ald is a label file ID name. Okay, so here we have to mention only the label file ID that has given here, so that it will take our file ID as a file name dot ald. See here, suppose if I'm giving like this DEC, and while giving the label, you have to make sure that it should not be in these three characters. See, due to risk of overwriting label files during an upgrade, the following abbreviations should not be used. Except these abbreviations, we can give any of the three characters as a label file ID. Okay. I'm clicking on the next. Finish. Okay. Now you see, this is our label file ID. AX DEC enus.ald. This is our label file ID name, ALD file. Actually, we have created only DEC. AX enus it will take automatically, and the complete label file name is AX DEC enus is the label file name. Okay. Now I want to give the label for this. What I will do is I'll remove this label. I'll remove the label. Now I want to give the label for this stock ID using the label file ID, not directly. Previously I have given directly as a stock ID. Now I don't want to give directly, I want to give it through the label file ID. So here what I will do is, we are in the table dstock ID, click on the label. Here we have the label extension button. Click on this. Okay. In the setup, you select DEC. This is a label file ID that we have created. DEC. Go to the label, click on new. New. The label you give it as stock ID, and description stock ID. DEC new. I'm giving like this, stock ID and stock ID. Now you can see here we don't have any label ID, and here the paste label is in the disabled mode. We don't have any label ID and the paste label is disabled now. Now after giving the description, you just press enter key from the keyboard. Okay, now you got the label ID and paste label is enabled. Click on the paste label. You will get this label in the stock ID. At the rate DEC2. What is there in DEC2 actually? In the DEC2, we have the label for the stock ID. We have the label for the stock ID. Now if I open this form, see, I will get the stock ID. The tools, label, if you see the label log, stock ID. We'll delete this. I have removed the DEC2 and I have given only the DEC1 because it is already there. To open this, I will get the stock ID as a label name. Okay, from where we are getting? We are getting from the label file ID. Suppose in the same way, if I want to give for the stock name, click on the stock name, click on the label, click here, DEC, label setup, new, and give it here as stock name, stock name. Now press the enter key. Let us do another name. Again, stock name, STOKNAME. Paste label. I got DEC3. Now what is there in the DEC3? In DEC3 we got the stock name as a label. STOKNAME, stock name. Okay. In the label wizard, if you see the label log, we have the stock name. DEC1 means stock ID, DEC2 means stock name. Like that, if you create the go on creating the labels, you will get the label logs here. Complete logs of the labels will be created here. Okay, like that you can create the labels for all the fields available in the form. You create the label file, label fields through the label file only when you feel that it is a reusable label. Suppose you take the stock ID. The stock ID, it is a reusable label. That means this stock ID can be used anywhere in the other form also. The stock ID can be used anywhere in the other form also. Say for suppose I have the D stock line here. Okay, D stock line ID is there here. Now I want to give a separate label. That means which will be unique. The stock ID label which will be unique throughout the application. If you feel that it will be throughout the application, it will be unique, then you can give a label file ID. So here in the D stock line ID, what I am giving is D stock line ID. Here I am giving @DEC1. That means I am reusing the label that I have created for the D stock table. Okay, @DEC1 I am giving for this. Suppose see here, I got the D stock ID. That means suppose if you have one more form with the same stock ID, you can give the DEC1 to that form also in the table name. Okay, the file, creating a label file is nothing but creating the label which is reusable in other forms. That's it. Any questions, Rajesh, Srinivas?
Yeah, but I have one question. Okay, if you want to create any form, means we need to create two tabs. One is over your general. This is the common scenario, or only one we can create?
So this is common scenario.
Okay, always we need to create two tabs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, when you are working on the AX, you not get a real chance to create a new form because the forms are already built.
Right.
Okay, and you are saying that we need to create two tabs or you general. These only tabs you have to create. Means that depends on your requirement again. If the client says I want the two tabs, then you have to create two tabs. If the client says I want the field to be extracted into three tabs, means you have to create the three tabs. That depends again.
Okay.
It's not mandatory that you have to create only two tabs. Again, if the client is following the Dynamics architecture and Dynamics standards on his application, then he will suggest you according to the standards that the Microsoft Dynamics is following.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And one more question. Okay, see how we can merge the two forms in one form. Like example, I have sales table. Okay, sales table. I have one sales ID. Okay, under that sales ID, I have three items. Okay, so my requirement is I click the sales ID. Okay, and below grid. Okay, below one more form and same form and one more means one more grid I want to show below. Okay. Number of sales lines. How can I do that one?
Still, we have so many classes to go. I'm going very slowly.
Okay.
Okay, that is there. We have a topic on that.
Okay.
I'll tell you. Still, it is there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Banu.
So Banu, I have one question.
Yeah, tell me, Rajesh.
So the field, like the label, right? Are you you are very fast, so I could not see. Are you changing the label on the table field or on the form?
Table field. In the form field, you will not get a label The form data source will not get a label.
So
Here will
if I
not get a
look at
label.
the table level, right, then I thought it will be same for any form, right? Or this table is stored in SQL Server, right? Or like
Yes.
this table,
SQL Server.
but no, like the label field for that one field, right? The label text. So which means that if I open a new project, then if I create a new data dictionary, this label will not exist. Or
It
like
will be
let us
exist.
say for dstock I put the label as Rajesh, okay, and I went to some other project and I added this table like to that project.
No
So
need to, yeah, okay. You added this table to the project, okay.
so what will be the label field, label text for dstock then, for the field, for the field?
Suppose you are using the same field.
Yeah,
Suppose you are using the same field. See, if you are in the same field as a stock ID,
yeah.
okay, then what are the label you give in the label file ID that will come in that form?
No, but why to create this label text file or something? Because in here for the field I put at label, right? So if I put Rajesh as a label, so whatever form I use, the same label should show up, right?
I'm not getting you.
So if on this dstock ID you have the label as at the rate of DAC1, right?
D stock ID means it is a label for the stock ID for one field.
Yeah, for
It's
one
not
field.
it's not for the table. It is for the field.
Right. Yeah, for the field. So
Okay.
that field will be like on a grid. It will be like a column
Yes.
on the grid. So
Yes.
the text will be whatever the label text, whatever we are writing.
We have given the stock ID as a label description that will show on the form as a stock ID.
Yeah. So instead of creating this label field text file, if I just create as stock ID, for any form it will be the same thing, right? For any form, if you use this field, it should be stock ID, right? Then why to create this at the rate of December, at the rate of DEC1?
No. You're not getting me. See, D stock ID is a meaningful name that I have given here. Okay. But in the real-time environment, just a minute. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Banu. Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Banu, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. So,
What I am saying is, I understand your
here you
concept of.
see here, the concept is the field name that you are creating here is a stock ID. Okay, D stock ID.
Yeah.
suppose
Yeah.
I have given a meaningful name as dstock ID. Now this dstock ID, suppose if I don't give this label name,
Yeah.
if I don't give this label name, it will display as a dstock ID on the form.
Okay.
Is it a meaningful name for the user to understand?
No. No.
No. Then what you will do? You will give the label name.
Yeah.
Okay, you will give the label name. So I'm giving that label name over here. Okay, and in that the dstock ID is using in more than 2 or 3 forms in the project.
Yeah.
Okay, and I want to give the label generic to all the forms. That means it will maintain the uniformity in all the forms without any spelling mistake, without any font size, without any font styles, changing the font styles, without changing the styles, without changing the size. I want to give unique label name for all the forms. Okay. So in all the forms, every time I cannot go to the form and I cannot give the label name, stock ID.
That is on the
based on
table, right? You're giving on the table, right?
Sorry?
You're giving that on the table, right? This
I'm giving
label
in the
name
table.
here.
I'm giving in the label table name. See, I'm giving here at the rate DEC
Will
one.
it
I'm
not
giving.
take? No, will it not take any text value there?
Where
What I'm asking is, so on the
it will take the
label.
text, it will take the text also. It will take the text also. See, here I'm giving at the rate DEC1. Okay.
Yeah.
And what is there in the DEC1? We have the stock ID. Okay. And
Yeah.
I have one more form, the stock line. Okay. For this
Yeah.
also there is a field called stock ID. Okay. For this also I want to give the stock ID as a label. I have given it the DEC1. Okay. I am creating one more table which is having the stock ID. For that also I want to give the label as stock ID. There also I give at the rate DEC1. And I
Okay, I
am creating
understand now.
one more table. One more table.
Okay.
In the table also I got the stock ID. So instead of typing the stock ID every time, I give the common name which I have created as a label. That is at the rate DEC1.
Okay, Banu. Okay.
That is what I am saying, reusable label, reusable. Every time you can use that label for a number of forms. That is not restricted to one table or not restricted to SQL Server database. That is a AX feature, Dynamics feature.
I understood, Banu.
Okay.
But this label is for only display purpose, right? Not it will not retrieve any values, right?
Yeah, it is only for display purpose.
Okay.
And this is very important. The label, creating a label file and creating a label text is very important, because when we are deploying the project into the client's machine, into the customer machine, okay, the system will ask whether to import the label files also or not. Because there in the production environment, if you don't create the label file ID, whatever the label file ID you have created here for the fields, those fields will be created. It will show only the table fields. It will not show the label file IDs. See here, for exporting, see here we have an option called export to deploy into the client's machine. Okay. Suppose, sorry. See, importing. We are importing the project in the, that means this is the deploying screen in the client's machine. That is the customer machine. See here, it is asking to import application objects and labels. Only labels. Labels means label file IDs. Okay. So creating the label file IDs, creating the label descriptions is very important in a project. Okay. Any questions, Rajesh, Srinivas?
No, but I don't have any questions. I'm good.
Okay. So this is how we create the label file IDs for each and every field, so that the label file IDs can be reusable in the other forms also. Here itself I shown you the dstock line ID also we can create a stock ID which is a reusable label of the D stock ID. Okay. Okay. And we have, did I send you the content? Hello?
No, Banu, we did not receive any content.
This one. Did you receive this?
No, Manu, we didn't send this one.
Okay. I'll share it with you. And we have other option. I mean, if you want the form grid to be disabled without modifying the data, you can change the properties of the grid. Okay, in the design, if you go to the tab overview grid, okay, here you'll be having the options, I mean properties. Suppose if I open the form, it is allowing us to edit any field. It is giving the cursor. Okay, suppose you want to log this modification. So here you will have a property called allow edit. Make it as no. Now if you open the form, you can see that it is not allowing us to edit. Okay, you cannot type any data here. You can type the data only here. See here I am giving 1004 stock name. And I am saving this. Control S. Now you can see it here. But here you cannot modify any data. Okay, everything is disabled. See, even the checkbox also got disabled. Okay, you can enter data only in the general tab, not in the ORU tab. This is just because to avoid the confusion of modifying data in both the ORU and general. Okay, so here we got the property called allow edit. Allow edit to no. Okay. So we have one more topic called menu items that we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay. Srinivas.
Yes, Manu.
Okay.
Okay.
Rajesh, both the Rajesh.
Yeah, Banu, I'm good.
Okay, fine. We'll catch you tomorrow then.
Manu, could you please, forward material? We didn't get any
Sure.
material yet.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.